What's going on, guys? It's your boy Sohnee back again for another video. Now today is a special one because Donda finally dropped. It's something that I didn't think was gonna happen. You know, we had 3 live events, no drop, and finally today on Sunday, it's time. Now, all of these songs are pretty much the exact same thing that we heard on the 3rd live event. So this video is not going to be much of a reaction. It's going to be more of a review. We're going to talk about all the things that I liked about this album, the things that I didn't like about this album, and some other interesting details here and there. So if you guys want to hear my ratings for the entire album and each individual songs, then stay tuned because we're going to talk about this. Let's get into it.
Donda, Donda, Donda.
Now, he starts off this album with the Donda Chant, and I think it's a really cool introduction, you know? It's just Donda repeated over and over and over again. But I think during the live events, it was a lot more effective than it was here just on the album. But I think it's a cool intro, and because it's just an intro, not an actual song, we're not going to give it a rating, but it's a cool way to start the album. But let's get into the first actual song. And now this song is called Jail. And it's kind of a controversial one because when we initially heard it, we were really excited about this because it was Jay-Z and Kanye coming together. There was talks about Throne 2. Very, very exciting. But then on the 3rd listening party, when we heard this version, it didn't have Jay-Z. It had DaBaby, which was really, really confusing because we wanted Jay-Z. Not that DaBaby was bad. In fact, his verse was actually pretty good. But it's not Jay-Z. And we were really disappointed. We did the live stream for it. Chat was very disappointed about this. But thankfully, Kanye rectified the mistake. And now he has a version with Jay-Z back on the album. But he also released a second version of Jail. So we got the best of both worlds in that case. And I'm really happy about that because, again, I was really excited that Jay-Z was on a Kanye album again. So honestly, if I got to give this one a rating, I'm going to have to give it an 8 out of 10, simply because it's cool. It's cool that Jay-Z's on it, but I don't necessarily think that I'm going to listen to this song multiple times. It's definitely not one that I'm going to remember to put on my playlist that often. But again, cool song, 8 out of 10, not a bad rating. Really happy about this one.
I know God breathe on this. I know God breathe on this.
All right, the next song on the album is called God Breathe, and this was a cool song. I gotta say, I really enjoyed this one. It is featuring Vori, and he does a good job on this. In fact, I believe is on more songs, and he does a good job every time he shows up. So really happy about this one. It kind of has sort of like a Yeezus vibe to it, which is really, really cool. I love Yeezus. I think it's a really cool album, and this has that same kind of vibe. So if you're a fan of that, you're going to love this song. It's really, really cool. I think it's a little bit too long. I think they could have cut it down a little bit, but other than that, it's a great song. I'm going to have to give this one an 8 as well. So 8 out of 10, not bad. Let's get on to the next song. All right, the next song is probably and arguably the best song on the album. Off the Grid blew my mind when I first heard this. Now, I'm not a big Playboi Carti fan, right? Like, I listen to some of the songs, I enjoy some of the songs, but I gotta tell you, man, when he's a feature on another person's album, he does really well for some reason, and this is a prime example of that. I was really, really hyped up. Chat was hyped up when we did this live, when we listened to this album live during the events. It was crazy. And I gotta say, man, Fabio is the best thing that happened to this song, man. That feature is so cool. This sounds like a New York song. I gotta say, Fabio's part seemed very substantial. In fact, most of the song is just him, which I don't think is a bad thing because he did such a good job and I enjoyed it a lot. It gets me hyped up and I really enjoy it. So this one went on my playlist immediately and I'm definitely going to keep listening to this over and over again. It's a 10 out of 10. Nothing else to say about this. If you like Playboi Carti, if you like Fabio, this is the song for you. It's the one. All right, the next song on the album is Hurricane, and I gotta say, this one is another controversial one because we have known about this song and we have heard different versions of this song for like 2 years now. And the version that we have here is featuring The Weeknd, which he's not bad on this song. In fact, I know a lot of people on the live stream were saying that they actually like the Weeknd version. But personally, I like the Ann Clemens version way more. And I know a lot of people feel that same way too. So for me, this was a little disappointing. I have to give this one like a 7 out of 10 because I think it could have been so much better with Ann Clemens and in the original versions we heard. But it's not that it's a bad song, but I don't know, something about the Weeknd, it just doesn't fit to me. And maybe I'm just like, again, maybe I need to give it a little bit more listens. Maybe it'll grow on me. But right now, I'm not really that big of a fan on this one, which is disappointing because this was one of the most anticipated tracks that we heard off of Yandhi. So for this to have such a journey to get to this place now and finally be released is cool. But it's not my favorite version. So I'm going to have to give it like a 7 out of 10. I think that's fair. But cool that we got to see it finally. All right, the next song on the album, I gotta tell you right now, is another 10 out of 10. I love this song. Praise God is amazing. And here's the thing. I'm a big Travis fan, sure. But Baby Keem is slowly becoming one of my favorite artists. He is really cool in every song that I hear him on. And he actually just released a song with Kendrick. So if you haven't heard that song, you definitely got to listen to it because that one is just as cool as this one right here. But yeah, man, again, really cool sounds, really cool vibes. And Baby Keem, he has a good substantial part in this song and he kills it, man. This one is a 10 out of 10 on the playlist. It hypes me up every time I listen to it. Really, really happy about this one. Nothing much else to say about it. All right, the next song kind of surprised me. The next song is Jonah. And this one was interesting because it's featuring Lil Durk and Vori. Once again, Vori doing his thing. Really impressed me on this album. And Lil Durk is always a good feature to have. But yeah, it has such a cool vibe to it. It kind of has that heartbeat effect that 808s and Heartbreak had. You guys know what I'm talking about. If you listen to the song, you guys will understand what I'm talking about. Which is really cool because this kind of feels like if 808s was made today, this is probably what it would sound like. So I was really happy about this. It's kind of nostalgic. Again, nothing bad to say about this song, and I like the hook a lot. It really makes me feel some type of way. You know what I'm saying? I know that's not very descriptive, but you get what I'm saying, right? You feel like some really interesting emotions when listening to this song. And that's something that I really like. So honestly, for me, this one gets a 9 out of 10. Very surprised about this one. I didn't think I was going to like it as much, but every time I listen to it, it gets better. So really, really good track.
Okay, I'm not okay.
All right, the next song on this album is called Okay, Okay. Another one that really surprised me because, I mean, during the live events, it did sound really cool. But hearing it, you know, without all the crowd and stuff like that, just hearing it on my own, it sounds even better. I don't know. Maybe that's just me, but this song is cool. It's actually featuring Lil Yachty and Fabio once again. I didn't realize that was Lil Yachty on this song. Maybe that was just me, but I couldn't tell that was Lil Yachty at first. Now that I actually hear it, it does sound a lot like Lil Yachty, so that's kind of cool. I didn't know he was going to be on this album. And Fabio, again, killing it. I don't know if that's accurate, though, because, again, it didn't sound like Fabio, but whatever. Apparently, according to this track listing that I'm looking at, he is on the track, but solid song. It gets you hyped up. Really cool lines in here. I will have to say, it kind of sounds like Kanye is talking about someone on this track, because he's saying, like, he raps, he sounds like me. Like, he said that line. I wonder who he's talking about. Maybe it's Drake. You know, maybe some slight lines, you know, very subtle digs at Drake. Maybe, because they had some beef going back and forth. I don't know. But either way, it sounds cool. It's one of those tracks where it's like, look at me, I'm the GOAT, you know? So, yeah, really, really happy about this one. 9 out of 10.
Junya want to not be on my
All right, the next song is Junya, and I gotta say, not the biggest fan of this one, which I know is gonna make a lot of people mad because when I asked during the live stream what song people were most excited for, this one came up a lot. So that really surprised me, but then I realized that it was featuring Playboi Carti, and it made sense why people were excited about it. There were a lot of Carti fans in that live stream, by the way, which, again, I'm not a Carti fan, so that's why I'm not excited about this one. I will have to say, though, his features on this album are pretty good. especially his one on Off the Grid. I love that one. He does really well on that one, and he doesn't do a bad job here either. But it's just, I don't know, the vibe of the song is not something that I really enjoy all that much. I don't really see myself really listening to the song multiple times like that. So I don't know. To me, it was a little underwhelming, but I know a lot of people like it. So, maybe I'm just not the kind of guy that's going to like this song. So in my opinion, again, I'm going to give this one a 6 out of 10. But I know a lot of people are going to rate it way higher. So, please don't hate me for this one. Don't let the lights down. All right, the next song on this album is Believe What I Say. And you got to believe it when I tell you that this is an 8 out of 10. It has a cool vibe to it. You know what I'm saying? It's something that you can just play in the background and just chill, just vibe out to it, not really pay too much attention to it. Just let it sit. And I think that's really cool. It's really fun to listen to, honestly. I had a great time. This one's one of the first tracks that literally has no features on it, which is very rare because I think there's only 3 tracks that don't have features. I could be wrong about that, but there's only 3 tracks that don't have features. This is one of them. And Kanye sounds great on this. Yeah, there's some background vocals as well, but overall, it sounds like a cool vibe, and I like this. So 8 out of 10. There you go. Okay, the next song on this album is 24. We've heard versions of this before, even before the live streams. So it's cool to see it now finally released. This one's also featuring Vori. And there's a lot of cool vibes going on in this song. There's a lot of elements playing into it. And I mean, my favorite part is when he just starts going, "We're gonna be okay." That's really cool to listen to when he repeats that. It puts you in a good mood, honestly. And I really like that because of this. So I'm going to have to give this one an 8.5 out of 10. I think it's a cool vibe. I think it gets the job done, and it does everything it needs to do. So really cool song. Please don't ask again. All right, the next song is Remote Control, and I got to tell you, this one was a little disappointing. Overall, the song is kind of like boring. It's a little boring. And even with Young Thug as a feature, I don't think it really adds too much to really like make me interested in the song all that much. And the worst part about it, the thing that we were so mad about during the third live stream, is that he did the Gooble Goblet thing at the end of the song. And we thought he was trolling. Like, everybody hated that. But he included this at the end of this song as well. It's a lot shorter than it was during the live stream, but it's still there. So that kind of kills the vibe of the song a little bit. But since it's at the end, I guess it's not a big deal. Either way, this one was definitely very disappointing. So I'm going to have to give this a 6.5. I don't know. Some people were really looking forward to this song. So I don't know. Some people might still enjoy this. But in my opinion, it's not all that great. But again, let me know what y'all think about this one. 6.5 is my rating. Another goated track has arrived, and that is Moon. You guys know how disappointing it was when we heard the live stream and Kid Cudi was taken out of the song. Imagine, the man on the moon is taken off the moon. That doesn't make any sense, right? But finally, Kid Cudi is brought back into the song, and everything is right in the world. It's like we're finally back on path, on the right timeline. But yeah, I gotta say, man, this feels like a sort of sequel to Hurricane. But Don Toliver does a great job on this. Don Toliver is a really dope artist. He's been doing a lot of cool stuff lately. And he has his own album coming on the way. So I can't wait to hear that. And of course, it's always nice to see Kid Cudi on a Kanye album. So 9 out of 10. Nothing else to say except this is a great track. Now the next track is Heaven and Hell. And now this one's an interesting one because it uses the same kind of like sample at the beginning that Gwen Stefani uses on Holla Back Girl. So that was kind of interesting to hear. But then it kind of builds as it goes, and the further the song goes, the better it gets, in my opinion. There's some cool sounds in here. We still have Kanye doing his like spazzing out kind of voice that he kind of did on Kids See Ghosts. So it's cool. He raps on this, which we like when Kanye raps, so it's cool to see him rapping on this song. And this is another one of those tracks that doesn't have a feature. So hearing Kanye, just Kanye and nobody else, it was really cool. So because of that, I have to give this an 8 out of 10. It's a cool vibe, it's a cool sound, and I feel like this is gonna start growing on me. So my rating might increase the more times I listen to it. So yeah, overall pretty good, guys.
Glory, glory.
All right, the next song on this album is called Donda, and this one was a very emotional song because you have like his mom speaking throughout the song and just talking about Kanye. And one of the things that I really liked about this was like her appreciation of Kanye and just saying like, you know, that's my son, you know, like, I don't know, something about this hit different, you know, it's definitely an emotional thing. And for the most part, it's not really a song. It's more of just Donda speaking. Yeah, so this one is cool, man. I would definitely listen to this one at least once, you know what I'm saying? Just to get that vibe, just to get that feel. But overall, I mean, I'm going to give it... See, I don't want to rate this because I think this is like a special thing. And because it's not a song, I don't want to give this a rating. So we're going to skip over that. We're going to go on to the next song.
The spirit won't die.
All right, the next song on this album is called Keep My Spirit Alive, and it's featuring Conway the Machine, Casey, and Westside Gunn. Now, I'm not really familiar with any of these artists. I know Casey was supposed to be on more songs, but a lot of people were really excited about Westside Gunn when they first heard the song. So, I mean, I really like it, especially the hook. The hook is really, really cool. It definitely grew on me. I was not expecting to like this as much as I did. And I definitely want to check out more Westside Gunn stuff because I have a theory that he's going to start popping up here and there a lot more often. But overall, really solid track, really enjoyable. I'm definitely going to listen to this a lot more. 8 out of 10 for me.
That needs
Okay, the next song is called Jesus Lord, and it's featuring Jay Electronica, which a lot of people were really, really excited about because he doesn't really do a lot of features. So for him to be here is really exciting. But I gotta say, this song is a very long song, like 9 minutes. That's insane. And I think it does drag on a little bit too much. It kind of just feels sort of like an anthem in a way. And it's something that you want to listen to the first time, maybe a second time. But I don't see myself listening to this song multiple times because it's just that long. And it drags on a little bit. Now, Jay Electronica's part was excellent. He starts talking about a lot of social issues. He brings up a lot of good ideas, good interesting points and stuff like that. So I think it's a very conscious verse. And, you know, the whole Jesus Lord being repeated again, I think it's cool. It's a cool vibe. It's a cool song. But again, I don't think it's something that I'm going to listen to more than once. So I'm going to give this one a 7 out of 10.
If I hit you with a WID, you better not hit me with a HEY.
All right, the next song is called New Again featuring Chris Brown. And I got to say, this one is really cool, especially because it begins in a really funny line where he says, you know, if I hit you with a WYD, you better not hit me with an HEY. You better hit me with a hi with a bunch of eyes. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's so, like, that's such a Kanye thing to do. It's so silly, but it's so good at the same time. And then the song does get really cool. I couldn't really tell that was Chris Brown on this song, so this might be wrong. I don't know, but it's cool. It's a cool song. Not one of my favorites, but definitely something that I might listen to a couple more times. So this one gets 7.5. I'll give it a 7.5 out of 10.
We made it. Thank God that I made it.
Okay, now we have arguably one of the most disappointing parts of the entire album, right? Because Tell the Vision was really hype when we first heard it because we're like, oh my God, Pop Smoke. Yeah, hell yeah. But there's no Kanye verse on this. It's just Pop Smoke. And I don't know about you guys, but the version that I was listening to on YouTube was they cut out all like the curses. Like all the N-words were muted and stuff like that, which was really weird. And it's something that you shouldn't do to a Pop Smoke song because then the song just doesn't sound good. You know when 2K mutes some of the songs because they curse and they don't want to put curses in their music, it sounds bad. And this is one of those examples where like it doesn't sound good. It was very disappointing. And I would have liked to hear a Kanye verse here or there. I don't know why like it seems like there's no point of including this. in the album because it doesn't feel like it really fits. It feels like it's just a Pop Smoke leftover verse that they just said, all right, let's put it here just because it's, you know, it's Pop Smoke, rest in peace. But like, I don't know, like it could have been better. That's what I'm trying to say. And it was a little disappointing. So I'm gonna give it a 6 out of 10. Not because Pop Smoke is bad, but just because I feel like it's underutilized, you know? So 6 out of 10, kind of disappointed, but I mean, it's Pop Smoke, so it's still kind of enjoyable. Not his best song, though. All right, the next song is Lord, I Need You. And this is a very personal song because he kind of talks about his marriage a little bit. He talks about the differences between how Kim grew up and how he grew up, you know? So it's a really, really personal song, and I like that. But it's not the best song. This is one of the other songs on the album that doesn't have features. It's just him, and it makes sense because it's a personal song, so that works. Overall, it's all right. You know, the beat's all right, the instrumental's all right, but there's not much else other than him just talking about his marriage and his experience. So if you want to hear that, definitely give this a listen. But otherwise, it's all right. You know, it's all right. I don't think I'm gonna listen to this more than a few times, so I'm gonna give this one like a 7.5 out of 10.
And I cannot sell my soul. Jesus saved my soul.
The next song is called Pure Souls, and this is featuring Roddy Ricch and Sean C. Now I gotta tell you, man, Roddy Ricch always does a good job. Always does a good job. Ever since he's been making music, he's been killing it, and I'm very, very excited to hear him on this album. He did a good job, and I gotta tell you, man, even Kanye raps a little bit on this. He kind of like sings a little bit on this. It's a mixture of both. It's really, really cool. I really, really enjoyed this one, and you know, it has a cool kind of message as well. So I gotta say, man, really dope vibes. This one gets an 8.5 out of 10 for me. I'm definitely gonna listen to this a lot more.
And maybe they'll come to life.
All right, the next song on the album is Come to Life, and man, this one was a really special song, man. The lyrics on this are great. The sounds are great. The piano is great. Like, it's so cool. And I believe this is the song he played when he put himself on fire during the event. So it's very, very metaphorical in that sense too. So I love this, man. It's a really dope song. It kind of gets you like emotional in a way too. So this is really cool because, you know, most of the time I'm not really into a lot of these emotional ones, but this one was so different that I really, really like this. I gotta give this one an 8 out of 10, man. Really enjoyable, and I do see myself listening to this a little bit more. So definitely don't sleep on this one, guys.
No child left behind.
All right, the next song is No Child Left Behind. We heard this on an advertisement that played during the NBA Finals. And then we heard this on the live streams, so we are very familiar with this song. He doesn't do anything crazy different than what we've already heard. It's pretty much the exact same thing. You have Vori's lines, and then you have Kanye saying a few lines here and there. It's pretty cool. It's a cool sound. It's a cool vibe, but it's not really much of a song, if that makes sense. So overall, while I do like the concept behind it and while it sounds great, it's not something that will keep my interest more than a few times. So that's why I'm gonna have to give this one like a 7.5 out of 10. It's a great song. Don't get me twisted. It's a great song, but I kind of wish he did a little bit more with this. You know, I kind of wish he did a little bit more with this. But other than that, it's a cool sound. It's a cool vibe, and I did enjoy it the first time I heard it, and even now hearing it multiple times, I still think I'm gonna enjoy this one. But there are better songs on the album. All right. Then after that, he does OK OK Part 2, which OK OK was one of my favorite songs. And then he does a Part 2. Why? I didn't think this needed a Part 2. And the Part 2 is worse, significantly worse, because he takes out Lil Yachty and he takes out Fivio. It's just like, why? He replaces them with somebody else. I don't know who's on this album because even the track listing doesn't show a feature. After that, you have Junya Part 2, which has Playboi Carti still, but now he adds Ty Dolla $ign, which it doesn't really add too much to the song. Again, I already was not a fan of this song, and now you put in Ty Dolla $ign, and it doesn't really fix what I had problems with, so it didn't really do much for me. And at the end, he has Jesus Lord Part 2, which is just Jesus Lord Part 1. But anyways, guys, that is going to do it. That is the entire Donda album. I ranked the entire thing. I ranked every song. And overall, I got to say, I'm very happy to finally get this, because there hasn't really been a lot of music out lately that I've been excited for. So to finally get something like this and have some really good songs in here, it makes me really happy. And especially because we had such a great time during the live streams, and you know, I streamed all 3 of them here on this channel, and it was my favorite time, man. Just seeing the chat interact with everybody, and just like everybody just laughing and saying jokes and stuff together, like that was such an amazing experience. And this, like, even though I don't think this is Kanye's best album, in my opinion, it's definitely one of my favorites, just because of the experience we had and the journey we had to get to this point. So really cool. And I gotta say, even though I typically dislike long albums, you know, if it's more than 16 songs, I kind of get bored. But in Kanye's case, we're gonna let it slide, because Kanye barely gives us any music as it is. So the more the merrier, in my opinion. Anyways, that is going to do it for the video, guys. If you enjoyed this, leave a like, subscribe, check out some of my other content. I even have my Jesus is King reaction on this channel, so if you want to check that out, definitely do so. But yeah, let me know what you guys thought of the album. Let me know what you guys rated the album. I'm going to give it my final rating altogether, 8.5 out of 10. I think this is an 8.5 out of 10. Let me know what y'all thought. But I'm going to be out. I'm going to see you guys next time. Peace.